Hello everyone. Welcome to the course Foundation of Quantitative Techniques under IBS Induction Program. The topic for today is arranging data. Let's talk about what we are going to discuss in the session. Introduction to data, data collection, classification and types of data, arranging data, tables, graphs and diagrams. So let's first talk about the term data. As you all know, in simple English, the word data means known facts. Data are individual pieces of factual information recorded and used for the purpose of analysis. Data is basically any information collected to gain knowledge about a field or to answer a question of interest. Now you all must be wondering, how do we collect data? To apply quantitative techniques to study any problem, related quantitative data must be collected. Collection of data is very important as it forms the basis of our analysis. There are various resources of collecting data like primary and secondary resources. One can collect data from surveys, experiments, or from internet sites, books, newspapers, and many more. Statistics is nothing but a branch of mathematics which aids to collect, analyze, and present data. Raw data is any information before it is arranged and analyzed. It is raw as it is unprocessed by statistical methods. Here are few examples of data. Indian census attempting to count the population, the percentage of taxes rich and poor people pay, oil production and our consumption and reliance on exports, a company's performance in terms of profit after tax over 10 years. Friends, you come across various examples of data in your day-to-day life. Just ponder over them and try to list them out. Types of data. Types of data are two: discrete data and continuous data. Discrete data. Discrete data involves round, concrete numbers that are determined by counting. They take specified values, mostly whole numbers. Example: number of children per family, number of books in the library, and many more. Continuous data. Continuous data involves complex numbers that are measured across a specified time interval. They can take infinite values. Example: height, weight, distance, etc. Now let's have a look at some information in the given table. Yes, absolutely. The information is from the top-notch e-commerce site. But can you comprehend anything? I guess the table has certain names of cities. But other details seem meaningless. So finally, I conclude data doesn't always have to be numerical. Numbers don't always represent numerical quantities. Data is meaningless without context. In order to make the table more meaningful, I have added context to it. The who, what, why, where, when, and how of the data makes the raw data more meaningful. Now you all have understood why do we need to arrange data. It enables us to see quickly some of the characteristics of the data we have collected, to see relations and patterns and make them comprehensible, to make data more understandable and comparable. Arranging data. The data can be arranged and presented mainly in the following forms: text presentation, tabular presentation, and graphical presentation. Text presentation. It's not a very effective mode of presentation. One has to read the entire paragraph or text in order to comprehend or analyze. Tabular presentation. Data can be clearly represented and easily seen once they are in tables. Data is easy to comprehend and compare when presented in tables. Frequency distribution table. A frequency distribution is a table that organizes data into classes, that is, into groups of values describing one characteristic of the data. A relative frequency distribution presents frequency of each value as a fraction or a percentage of the total number of observations. Let's have a construction of a frequency distribution formula. First, one needs to decide on the number of classes. The width of the class interval can be calculated using the following formula. The difference between next unit value after largest value in data and the smallest value in data divided by the number of class intervals. So here's an example of how to construct a frequency distribution. We have data of average inventory for 20 convenience stores. So I have decided to take classes as 6. Next unit value after largest value in the data is 5.6. Smallest value in the data is 2. Width of the class interval as per the formula calculated is 0.6. So here's our frequency distribution table where we have the classes, the frequencies and the relative frequencies. Cumulative frequency distribution. Cumulative frequency distribution enables us to see how many observations lie above or below certain values rather than merely recording numbers of items within intervals. There are two types, less than cumulative frequency distribution and more than cumulative frequency distribution. Here is an example of less than cumulative distribution. How do you calculate less than cumulative frequency distribution? First, we begin with the first frequency. Then you add the first frequency to the next frequency exactly below the frequency. If you repeat the entire process, you get the less than cumulative frequency column. Now we come to more than cumulative frequency. Here we begin with the frequency at the bottom of the table. The frequency which is last is 5. We add it to the frequency which is exactly preceding the frequency, that is 12. We add 5 plus 12 to get 17 as the cumulative frequency. If we keep on repeating or adding the previous frequencies, we would get a cumulative frequency column. Graphical presentation. The frequency distribution can be graphically presented through following graphs and diagrams: frequency polygons, bar diagrams, histograms, pie charts, ogives. Frequency polygon. Frequency polygons are used to portray graphically both simple and relative frequency distributions. A frequency polygon is a graph constructed by using lines to join the midpoints of each interval. The heights of the points represent the frequencies. Bar diagrams. A bar graph or a bar chart is used to represent data visually using bars of different heights or lengths. Data is graphed either horizontally or vertically, allowing viewers to compare different values and draw conclusions quickly and easily. A bar chart is a great way to display categorical variables in the x-axis. Histograms. A histogram represents the frequency distribution of continuous variables. Histogram presents numerical data. The histogram is drawn in such a way that there is no gap between the bars. Pie chart. A pie chart or a circular chart is a circular statistical graphic which is divided into slices to illustrate numerical proportion. Ogives. Ogive, also known as a cumulative frequency polygon, can refer to one of the two things: any hand-drawn graphic of a cumulative distribution function, or it is also called as the S-shaped curve. Here is an assignment for you all. Try solving it until we meet next. Should you need any help, you may reach me on my email ID or voice coordinates shared on the IBS LMS portal. Thank you.